Do you have questions concerning planning a Disney trip? Ask them live on the show or submit them on our website at patmdisneytravel.wixsite.com/planning. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is Matt with the DPI podcast, and we are back for 2025. Holy crow. You guys stepped up at the end of 2024 in a way that I've never seen before from our podcast. So first off, let me say thank you very much. I'm going to take a little bit of time to go through all of you here in a second that made yourself public, because there were a lot. But as far as 2024 ended, let's just put it this way. December, we had 35,000 views. We were averaging over 1,000 views a day. We had almost a 10,000 view day on the 31st, and we've had 113 subs in the last month. So, unbelievable, unbelievable. And then I've got this guy on my other screen who, I don't even know who the hell he is. So, it's been a long time, but Peter with Princesses and the Mouse Disney Travel is going to join us tonight. So we're starting off 2025 in a big way. So let's start off with getting into the show a little bit, and then we'll get all you guys caught up from there. So again, thanks for joining. Hi, I'm Matt. Welcome to Disney Planning Insights. Through creative content and live shows, we explain the hidden details of the Disney experience so that our clients can execute memorable adventures. Together with Princesses and the Mouse Disney Travel, we have helped hundreds of clients plan, book, and prepare for magical Disney vacations. Let our experience help you avoid common planning mistakes and maximize the enjoyment on your next Disney trip. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is Matt with the DPI podcast. Welcome to 2025. This is going to be a fantastic year as it comes to the show. Lots of people I want to thank before we get started on the show. So let's just go ahead and get into it because, like I said, we had 111 subscribers in the last 28 days and over 35,000 views. So this has been kind of crazy when it comes to the show. So let's start off 13 days, 17 days, 23 days. It's probably going to get down to there. So, okay, Ann Stafford, thank you for joining the show. Joe Masoon, thank you for joining the show. Daniel Fooch, thank you for joining the show. AJ the DJ, thank you for joining the show. Anita S, thank you for joining the show. Heathers 256, thank you for joining the show. Barbara Schilling, Alicia Amack, James Gringon, Erwin Akabel, Heather Sanders, Alec Briggs, Felix Hamlin, SEOMIB, Lori Thomas, Jeet Carr, Daniel Mullins. Where are we at? Hold on. Jackson Taylor, Dean Dunkley, Tracy Byers Morales, and Big Boy Dunks. Guys, crazy. We're going to be at 700 subscribers by the end of January, which is awesome. The goal this year is to get to that 1,000 number. And all that means is that we need to average about 30 a month this year. So very much in reach. Thank you guys all for your support. Very much appreciate it. Why we do this show is to give people the ability to enjoy Disney from home, learn things about taking trips, all that kind of stuff. And hopefully this show gives you that platform that you can do that with. So thank you guys all very much. Like I said in the soft intro, we have a very special guest on the show with us tonight. He hasn't been on the show in, what, 4 months? Close. So since school started, I mean, it's kind of what it is with, what he does for a living. So let's go ahead. Let's bring on Peter with Princess of the Mouse Disney Travel. And these things are going to be going on all night. So, Mr. Salvadori, what is going on?
I'm here. Thank you for being willing to move the show to a new night. Hopefully, Mondays are significantly better, as you and I talked about towards the end of last year. Mondays are a significantly better night, so hopefully it can just become a standard thing that I'm back on this very, very often. It was funny. I was actually at a party last night, and one of the people there go, "Oh, yeah, I've seen you. Yeah, I was watching a video of Happily Ever After, and at the end, this guy popped on, and so I went over to this Disney Planning Insights thing, and I saw you on all of this stuff. I was like, why do I recognize that guy? Because I was at a party that I only see these people like once, maybe twice a year, because they're acquaintances through a close friend, and this close friend hosts this party, and so they were like, I knew you looked so familiar, and it was because they had found their way onto some of the amazing material, some of the videos that you've put together. So it was just funny that last night I was like, yeah, I'm actually going to be back on the show tomorrow because I haven't been on for a while.
No, that's awesome. It's funny you say Happily Ever After. Happily Ever After is kind of the video that sparked this kind of takeoff. We posted it in like the middle of June. It was from the trip we took at the beginning of June. We posted it in the middle of June, and then all of a sudden in the December, it just took off like 1,000 views a day, and just shot up, and it's like at 107,000 views now. It's crazy. So, no, it's been super cool.
There's another podcast that used a segment. I don't know if you're aware of this one. They used a segment from one of our very early episodes because we were like still streaming. It was before we were streaming. It was when we were just like doing Facebook Live or whatever, and we were in my classroom, so we hadn't even like worked out the how do we work remotely from different places when we were still getting together to record episodes, and it was us talking about fast passes. And apparently that video's got like millions of views or like super crazy number of views. And we were in that. So that was, every so often I'll have students walk up to me and go, Sal, do you know you're in this like super viral video about Disney fast passes? I'm like, yes, I do know that.
No, that's awesome. And, again, why we did this and why we wanted to do this was we wanted to create a platform to talk about that kind of stuff and to really educate people on the changes that Disney makes, because Disney makes them fast and furious. And I think that was really a lot of what we wanted to do. Just so you know, the subscriber dings just went off. They've been dinging the whole time that we've been off. And then on top of that, new follower tonight, Gifted 1425 over on Twitch. Thanks for joining us. Every Monday night is when we stream, so check us out Monday nights now at 7:15. This is going to be Eastern Standard Time. So definitely check out the stream. Let us know what you think. And glad to have you. But yeah, no, you had said that a while ago about that other stream though, and that's kind of crazy because it was one of our early clips, our really early clips, and I feel like people have taken some of our top 3 stuff. I've seen that remixed a couple of different places, and some of our other content, the Stormtrooper invasion when we were at Hollywood Studios.
You and I were there.
Yeah. Somebody took that and remixed it. So So it's cool to see that stuff kind of popping up in different places and that kind of stuff. But no, really, new show for 2025. A lot of the same pieces, but really what I wanted to do tonight is kind of get your thoughts on what was announced at D23 and kind of what is the park going to look like in 2025, because we really haven't talked a whole lot about what was officially announced and what's kind of come since then. So
yeah, I think the last time we were on, it was like that I was on the show. It was like right after D23. We were getting really long in the show, and we are like, well, we'll just have to unpack that more at a later date. And then school year started, golf season started, my kids swimming. So yeah, Monday nights there are 2 nights a week where, as long as I don't have anything sports related, and there's very few sports things on Monday nights. So hopefully 2025 New Year's resolution is be on the vast majority of shows, so that you don't just have to rage and rant, that I can be your devil's advocate whenever frustrations arise.
Yeah,
I'd love to unpack that with the because there hasn't been a ton of news in the last couple of weeks, really outside of some deals being released and other stuff.
Yeah, and so let's talk a little bit about some of the things that have conspired since D23. Let's start in Magic Kingdom. They gave us the Beyond Big Thunder Mountain and the Cars Land and all that kind of stuff. And then we had the fallout of actually where they're going to place this, which now is 100% up in the air because they can't get the permits for the water movement that they need. So talk a little bit about that project, and let's unpack that one a little bit.
Yeah, so the space that Matt's talking about is back where the Liberty Bell goes around that Rivers of America, back there behind Big Thunder Mountain, and hence why the project was kind of coined Beyond Big Thunder Mountain. And the idea here is that we were supposed to get a Villains Land as well as a Cars Land, which Cars Land kind of works with Frontierland. That's kind of in that same thing. And as long as they kind of reshift things and create walkway that ultimately goes past Big Thunder Mountain on one side and past Haunted Mansion on the other side, I could see Haunted Mansion being a perfect start to what ultimately turns into a Villain Land area. But in this whole process, as Matt was just referring to, they want to basically eat up and kind of reshift and change a whole bunch of that area, because they also want to like remove Tom Sawyer Island, and so of water stuff is obviously a big deal, and so everything's all kind of on pause. That's why Big Thunder Mountain's down, because Big Thunder Mountain did close just very recently, closed for the for a big overhaul. They are adding in a whole bunch of scenery and doing a whole bunch of track replacement overhaul. And then they said, well, we're in there, we'll pour our pathways and do a bunch of the nearby construction, all of that stuff. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see, but yeah, it sucks that Big Thunder Mountain's out. Caves on a hot day. I love when that the little Aunt Sally's snack stand is open over there or whatever. But yeah, but I also understand, like, is Tom Sawyer Island very relevant in 2025? Just about as relevant as Splash Mountain was.
Yeah.
Obviously, Tiana's is amazing.
This whole permit thing is kind of wild, because really you're looking at 2 different types of permits here. You've got the permit of land that has already been worked over by Disney. Tom Sawyer Island, Rivers of America, and all that kind of stuff. So that's all land that's ready to build on, basically. The stuff for Villains Land is going to need to make buildable, and then they're probably going to stuff out to that area as well. So you're talking about, not only subterranean too, to work in all of the utilidors and all that kind of stuff, so that the characters and the cast members and all that kind of stuff can move around freely under the park. So lots of things going on there. The big thing is you're taking this land that Rivers of America in Florida, where you need to move a lot of water sometimes, out to Seven Seas Lagoon, and kind of was the flood control for that area. You take that away, you've got to completely restructure that flood control, and that's... My question is, why couldn't they do like a think Cars to Japan scene and put this Cars ride there? You've already got your buildable land. You're not taking away a efficient wastewater removal system. I don't see why they didn't take a really dated ride over there and really change everything else up to modern over there. You've got the addition of Tron, the 50th anniversary of Space Mountain. They're probably going to announce a refurb of Space Mountain here soon. It just seemed like a good area where you could bring that Cars ride over there and really succeed. And if you wanted to bring in the Racing Academy over there, you're probably going to be playing Do-Si-Do with Muppets 3D, Racing Academy, and Laugh Floor anyway. You've got a theater for Racing Academy now.
Yeah, I said, when they said they were doing Cars Land, I was like, oh, cool. And I immediately thought Hollywood Studios. They're just going to extend back there right behind where the Racing Academy currently is.
And we had talked about that, yeah.
Right? Like, as soon as I heard Cars Land, I was like, oh, yeah, that's going in Hollywood Studios, guaranteed. And then found out it was a Magic Kingdom thing. I was like, boy, that just seems like a whole lot of fuss and hassle. And honestly, now, granted, it does fit in with Frontierland area. And so I don't mind that it's going in there. But at the end of the day, when I think about Magic Kingdom, it's all about, fantasy and adventure, and I think Cars would fit better in Hollywood Studios, where we already have, sort of this middle area and then these designated lands that are being added on, versus chucking this dedicated land in. But as always, I would expect the Imagineers to make it ultimately seamlessly integrate into what we already know and love. And that's my only concern. My only concern is that these are Magic Kingdom, when you think of it, is a very, very, it's very fluid, right?
Yes.
It flows very well as you move from place to place to place. And what I am afraid of is basically what happened at Disneyland, because Disneyland, when they put in their Star Wars, I mean, it is just back. Like, you've got to go down a long path one way or down a long path another way, and there's nothing along that back path that's noteworthy or exciting.
No.
You've just got this trek that you've got to then turn off of this long path to then go into the secluded Star Wars area. And I'm worried that that's going to be the experience of getting into like Villains Land or the Cars. Now the Cars appears like it's going to be kind of in that Rivers of America, Tom Sawyer Island area. But that Villains Land, like you said, they're breaking brand new ground. They're going to have to expand utilidors. Like, that's back there. I got to like purposely go to Villains Land, and I just feel like it's going to feel disconnected.
Yeah. And it very well might be. The only saving grace is if they do build it off of the back of Haunted Mansion, you kind of already have the tree cover there to block it off from that Rivers of America area. So they could make it work out that way. It just depends on where they end up. They haven't put a lot of maps out with that. But my concern is, well, I won't say concern, with them expanding like the road and everything past Shades of Green, is it going to end up closer to that side where it's going to be a long walk around the back from Haunted Mansion to get to it? Just because it's easier to get the construction vehicles closer to the Big Thunder Mountain side than it is the Haunted Mansion side. So,
and them developing all that up north area, like, do we potentially see another hotel or two with sort of a back park entrance similar to, you know, kind of Grand Californian being built in? Are we going to see 2 more resorts up off the north side of Magic Kingdom with a north entrance?
Yeah, I talked to somebody on Twitch about that on the last show. So the last show that I did was December 9th. And that was one thing that I brought up, is the way that they're developing that, you now have a viable bus route and everything to put hotels back there. Do we see a moderate with a park entrance villain-themed hotel go back there?
Or, I mean, expand a monorail loop, right? Like, you could easily, especially, like, that Magic Kingdom station already has the ability to take on, and so you could easily kind of reroute how the stuff goes around and put in 2-3 hotels with a monorail loop, or like you and I just said, 2 or 3 hotels with back park entrance. Give me a really nice size moderate, like a Caribbean Beach or a Coronado, and then a nice deluxe, and give me, you know, a good theme on that one. And man, I don't even know what theme I would want to see in a new deluxe hotel. Yeah, interesting. Oh, I'm gonna let my dog out. Go ahead, keep going.
The hotel angle is a great angle for that, because I think that's one thing that we can all agree on, is they do need to expand hotel space a little bit. So the addition of some more rooms, one that has access to the park, definitely needs to be a deluxe. But if you put a moderate back there as well across the street, say, now you've got a walking to a resort or to a park, and then you have bus transportation to your other parks. So works out really well. Okay, let's talk about the next kind of controversial, we'll say, build, and that's going to be the Monsters Inc. Coaster and where that's going. So they announced that Monsters Inc. is going to be invading Grand Avenue at Hollywood Studios. So Grand Avenue is now home to Muppets 3D, Mama Melrose. There's a Christmas store back there. Pizza Rizzo's back there. All this stuff's going to go away. Now, one thing that we did get was that Muppets is going to be taking over the theme of Rock and Roller Coaster, which is going to be crazy. But what do you think the future for the Monsters Inc. section of that park is going to be? It's not just going to be a roller coaster. How much do you think they expand that?
Yeah, I could totally, you know, this is all speculative, and maybe some Imagineers watch our show so we can make this, we can speak it into existence. We have spoken things into existence before on this show.
Yeah.
Like many times. So, first of all, I don't think Mama Melrose and Pizza Rizzo are going to go anywhere. What I do think is those are going to stay and get re-themed. So I could see them doing, you know, a quick service and make it like, you know, sort of theme it like Monsters Inc. cafeteria type thing, make a bunch of monster dishes. And then I could also see it would be very, very easy for them to, I just lost the name, to turn Mama Melrose into the restaurant.
Harry Hessens.
Thank you. Yeah. Harry Hessens. Oh.
Yeah.
So I could, you know, they could pretty easily, and honestly, I mean, we could we could use for some more Asian cuisine in the parks, that's a pretty outside of Epcot. That's an area that's kind of missed as you kind of look around the dining offering. So I would not at all be upset with kind of a izakaya, kind of a sushi and Japanese. Not saying a hibachi because obviously we have that at Teppanyto, but kind of in that same vein of cuisine.
But can you really have too many hibachi places?
Well, no. as evidenced by the Christmas, New Year's at any of these places, because around us. I went in. We were in the mood for sushi on Bryce's birthday, which is January 2nd, and I went into the nearby one where we always go on Christmas Eve for hibachi, and I tried to order a draft beer, a Japanese draft beer, because I love going to those hibachis to get like a Sapporo or an Ichiban, and the guy goes, we're all of our draft beers gone. I go, what? We even ordered extra kegs, and we've been so busy. So I was like, okay, I guess I'll take a can of it. He goes, no. We have 0 Japanese beer.
Were you at Izakaya?
No, Kodo.
Oh, Kodo. Right. Okay.
So I do think that first, right off the bat, I know Pizza Rizzo, it doesn't make sense to remove restaurants. It makes sense to retheme restaurants. It does not make sense to drop a wrecking ball onto a functional kitchen that is handing food out to a sit down and a quick service restaurant. Like that, that just does not make sense, right? So then over to that, we kind of know that the coaster is going to be at the back. So if you kind of go past Mama Melrose right now down Grand, it just kind of dead ends, and we do kind of know that's where they're going to have the big Monsters Inc. building. That of course they will use scale perspective to make it look absolutely ginormous, even though it's really just a standard size building. Mm-hmm. That's where that coaster is going to be, which then gives you the big question mark of, so tell me about the right hand side.
Yeah.
Right? Like, does the theater just get gutted and overhauled and turned into a fan experience? Could Laugh Floor come over there and then like literally just pick up the technology, move it over to that theater? Would I be surprised by Laugh Floor moving over? God, no. Then it opens up in Magic Kingdom, a theater to put in another princess related show. I would love to see, Magic Kingdom has all the princesses, but it's basically just meet and greets. If you really want princesses in movies, you've got to go to Hollywood Studios for Little Mermaid and Beauty and the Beast, and you've got to go to Hollywood Studios for Frozen. Like, it would be great to have, I'm not saying Frozen, but a Frozen style sing-along show that incorporates princesses. Like, that would be fantastic. That would be a great add into Magic Kingdom.
Yeah. Or they could do, even if they did, where that theater is in Magic Kingdom, they could do, they have like a Turtle Talk with Stitch basically in Paris that was fantastic. And as popular of a character as Stitch is, I'm really surprised at how little he has at the park. Since, the Stitch's Great Escape went away, there's not a lot there. So, something like that would even, I think, fit in there really well. Even though that theater is a lot larger than it needs to be, you may be able to cut it down into 2 separate theaters and run congruent shows.
Yeah, well, on your topic of the Stitch one, do that in the building across the way. That's nothing more than occasionally used for meet and greets, because that used to be the site of the extraterrestrial, which just scared the absolute bejesus out of
Alien kids. Encounter. Yeah.
That thing was. I remember like the feeling of sheer terror when Alien breathed on your neck after it, because like the lights all flash and then the tank explodes, and then the alien's gone, and then the lights go out, and oh my goodness, just terrifying.
On this tangent, how many times does Disney need to fail trying to be Universal before they realize that they don't need to be Universal?
You kind of cut out there. What?
I said, how many times does Disney need to fail at trying to be Universal before they figure out that they don't need to be Universal? Because I think every time that they try and put in something that is like teenager and above in the parks, it just fails because their core demographic wants nothing to do with it.
Yeah. Sorry, my camera just... yeah, and hopefully they've learned their lesson. Because... But yeah, like a Stitch Talk would be amazing, and then yeah, anything else along the space theme of things would make more sense than Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor as you enter Tomorrowland. Like, do anything along the space themed movies of Disney in that theater, and then bring the Laugh Floor over to Hollywood Studios, and then yeah, maybe so now you've got a show and a coaster, so you've got some good stuff, and then maybe some other little thing, or you've got room for shops and character meet and greets and other stuff like that. So
yeah. Wow. Okay, we all of a sudden have no internet over here. That's kind of what's going on. So yeah. So I guess the next thing is kind of like the easiest one, and that's going to be Animal Kingdom and the Tropical Americas, the Equatorial Americas. Talk a little bit about that project and what's going on there.
Yeah, so it's Dinoland USA is closed, and except you can still walk basically a straight line to Dinosaur and back out. Like, you can still and then that front path to take you over to the Finding Nemo musical. Like, you can still do that, but then everything else inside of that, so all of the little dino ride and the character meet and greets and the little arcade games are gone. We're gonna get an Encanto themed ride so there's going to be Casita is going to be built, which I would imagine is kind of an interactive explore area when that's all said and done. We're going to get that where that dino ride is going to turn into kind of a carousel type ride, it seems like, maybe something similar. And then ultimately, I think you're frozen. Are you gone?
I'm still here.
Oh, okay.
I was just looking at something. So I've got a prompter now that I can actually scroll and like look right at the camera. And
got it.
No, it's kind of crazy.
Got it. Okay. And then, yeah, ultimately Dinosaur is going to be rethemed into Indiana Jones. So I would expect the ride track to remain exactly the same. And then they're just going to go and put in a new ride. So for those of you that have been to Disneyland, very, very similar to that, which, by the way, the Indiana Jones ride line at Disneyland might be the most god-awful ride line in the history of ride lines. It is like almost a mile walk from entrance to ride and back out again.
You can tell that you are somebody that just hates lines in general, because it is probably one of the best themed lines in all of Disney property.
100% agree about the theme of the line, but when there's no line, you're just sitting there on the dang mark.
You need like a people mover to get you back there when there's no line.
Yeah, serious. Like, it is. Because yes, it is one of the best. If we were doing a, best themed lines, that would be hands down. But it is just awful to walk. It so is. But anyway, I digress. So that's what we've got going on. So we're going to get some Encanto stuff. We're going to get Indiana Jones there. I hope we get another nature trail. I don't think they have confirmed that we're going to get another exploration trail, but I hope we're going to get another exploration trail. It would be a shame if there is not another exploration trail if they're doing this. And honestly, I'm excited. It makes a heck of a lot more sense than the dino area. And I'm not saying anything against the dino area, but the dino area, the way it was done, was just not good. Like, arcade games and this little Triceratops spin, the mouse coaster got ripped out.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just dying anyway, and it's time to just gut it and give me something completely new. It was funny. I was looking at something the other day. The 3 animal heads in front of Animal Kingdom are an elephant, a dragon, and a dinosaur. And we never got the dragon under the original ideas. That sort of fantasy animals never occurred. And now the dinos are getting ripped out. Like, replace the 2 heads also while you're at it, right? Give me an African animal, an Asian animal, and a Central American / South American animal.
Yeah.
Switch the heads to match and do even better, like line them up with what direction you should go so that the far right one is the Latin America one, right? Then the Asian one is in the middle, and the elephant can move to the far left.
Yeah, it's funny you bring up the heads because we're far from the initial thought for Animal Kingdom when it came to that. So that is the huge kind of happenings at Walt Disney World. Land is getting a few things, but that's still, man, it seems like it's forever down the pike. 2027, possibly a start for that Disneyland Forward project. We are getting a couple new Avengers rides in Avengers Campus out there. But, really Disneyland's focus is going to be on the 70th this year and what goes on with that. So that's going to be really cool. Interested to see the experience with Walt that's going to be in the Mr. Lincoln Theater. That's going to be really cool. So lots of things going on there.
Yeah, that is where I'm going beginning of April.
There you go.
So I will be spending my 40th birthday in California Adventures version of Food and Wine Festival.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. Get yourself a cannoli churro and go to town.
Oh, it's going to happen.
That by far the best California Adventure food and wine item last year. But let's talk a little bit about, and I don't know how much you've kept up on this, but let's talk a little bit about Lorcana. So Continentals have come and gone now. European Continentals were in December. North American Continentals were at the beginning of this month. Edmund Chu wins North American Continentals. Ruby Amethyst takes down both Continental Championships. Top 8 from each got invites to Worlds. They're going to sprinkle in, I think it's the champion from this event in Australia, and there's going to be some sort of last chance qualifier. They still haven't announced the date, but it's going to be early to mid-March, and it's going to be at Coronado Springs at Walt Disney World. And it's probably going to it will coincide with probably the release of the new set 7 in March. So that'll be pretty cool.
I haven't updated. Yep, I updated for set 6. I collected all of set 6. We have had a crazy busy because like right now set champs are happening, and we have had a crazy busy month. How many more weekends of set champs are there?
It goes through the 9th.
Yeah, so I might be able to find some set champs for this weekend because I did upgrade. My blue steel is pretty changed up. in what I think is a really strong way. My son keeps experimenting with this bloody steel, which is when it sets up. I mean, it's an absolute freaking nightmare. Um, it, it is crazy the amount of stuff that you have to kill on your, like, you have to choose to kill and discard, and it's but it has to set up,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is always obviously the challenge, when you just don't pull anything right off the bat.
Yeah, so this weekend, let's see, this weekend will be Moonshot on the 25th. So
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna go to that. Yeah, that
yeah.
one is for sure, and then I might find a Sunday one as well.
Yeah, I think Valkyrie's Vault was this past weekend. I'm actually doing Good Games is on the 2nd, February 2nd, and then Hitherto's on the 9th. I have to do Sundays because of band things, and we've got tickets to like the Cirque du Soleil thing and at the Fishers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That's gonna
thing.
be really
So
cool.
yeah,
Well, yeah, let's confirm that because I could probably do both of those. So I could probably do those Sundays.
yeah,
That was the other thing. Yeah, my in-laws, my father-in-law had his hip replaced, and so they didn't actually go snowbird, and so that, of course, changes the dynamics of availability and everything like that.
oh yeah, oh yeah. Nope, completely understand, but definitely want to get you back into it and get you playing. I'm actually sitting one of
I got my decks right here. I actually had to clean up my table because I've got tons of stuff everywhere. Which one was that one? Yeah.
it's New Bucky.
Oh, look at that. Got
Yeah.
Yeah, the absolute destroyed Bucky.
Yes.
I don't think they had to make him more expensive. I think on the new Bucky conversation, my position, I think they should have left him completely alone and just turned his power to when you play a Floodborn character using Shift.
Yeah.
That would they overkilled it by then also taking away his ward and also making him more expensive. Like, either just take away his ward or just change it to must play using Shift, and then it would have fixed the card.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's almost unplayable now. But
yeah, he got overkilled.
I played in a movie, like a franchise.
Yes,
tournament.
I wanted to go to that so bad, but we were busy. I hadn't even made the deck because I saw I couldn't make it. Yeah, over there at Heroes Emporium.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really wanted to do that. That would have been so fun to make a deck, and just, but also very hard all at the same time, right? Like,
yeah,
you would basically have to choose a core mechanic that there's like some synergy between like 4 cards from a movie, and then from there just go search related character cards and see what matches it. Like, you would just have to decide, here's what I want the deck to do, and I know that these 3 cards all come from the same movie, and build from there. And it would have been such a fun build.
Yeah, I played 7 Dwarves.
Yeah, that makes sense. If I would have done it, the immediate would have been build off of an Amber Steel 7 Dwarves deck and go grab some Snow White and some Evil Queen and all of that stuff from Purple. And that was actually the deck that I was starting to build, and then I realized I wasn't gonna make the day, because
well, it sounds like they're gonna do one every set now.
Yeah, so that'd be fun.
Yeah,
for sure.
Just kind of like a break.
Thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of Lorcana cards sitting behind me, mostly sorted, and but yeah, we got all the Bryce's big card in this set. My big card was obviously Baymax, being able to play Robin. Yeah, the Robin Hood Baymax combo is just beautiful when it sets up. Right, like that's just remarkable when you can do that. And then Bryce's big one was Half Shark Maui.
A lot of people are playing that Half Shark Maui.
Yeah, and Bryce's Bloody Steel, that Half Shark Maui is just huge in it.
It's my secret deck. I've got one that I'm playing at Moonshot and at Heroes, and then I've got my secret deck that I'm actually going to take to sets. I don't want anybody to know what it is before it gets there. So
Nice.
Yep, I'm doing one of those this time. But yeah, so World Championships for Lorcana. The first World Championships will be in March. Ezekiel Islands is the next set. Comes out in March. So I think they're going to kind of line all of that up. If they're smart, they line all of that up. It just makes a lot of sense, because then you have a boost into your other 3 releases in 2025. So it would just make sense to do it that way, but we'll see. Past that, what are the big deals right now? So Disney's really trying to combat the opening of Epic Universe. So what are they throwing out there deal-wise right now?
Well, there's a little bit of dining deal here in the beginning of the year. There's some up to 25% off room offer deals. There's the stay and play package that you can get. California has some deals with tickets, but basically it's California residents, which was very, very annoying. I'm still holding out hope that I see a ticket deal pop up. So I have not bought the tickets, because I'm sitting there waiting, hoping that all of a sudden I'll go, oh yes, ticket deal. But yeah, we've got there's some Florida resident deals and California resident deals if that applies to you. But standard off rooms, Disney Visa card members, free dining if you're going kind of May to June and July. Basically just get rid of the 4th of July weekend, and essentially it's late May through early August. Disney Plus subscribers on cruises. Cruises only requiring 50% booking versus 50% of the required deposit versus the standard. Disneyland has got some kid ticket deals, as well as some 30% off hotels, and so whole bunch of stuff, exactly like you said. We're even talking about, I think next spring break is going to be an Epic Universe, but all sorts of stuff. Lots of deals. Well, it was crazy. I had a family reach out, a client reach out just like 2 weeks ago, and they were like, we want to go for spring break, and they had booked, because it's a family of 5 plus grandparents, so they had called and got kind of like offered a 2-bedroom at Animal Kingdom Lodge, because the cast member, and this isn't like a knock or anything, like they said they wanted to come with 7 people. The cast member just got them a room that fits 7 people, and I'm like, you guys could do 2 reservations and stay lots and lots and lots of other places.
Yeah.
And so we ended up, but long story short, they ended up booking for like, even with the dining plan, they're like $5,000 less than what tickets and room were going to be like for that trip. But in that, they're going to Caribbean Beach, and I got them 20% off their room, and I was shocked that a basic 20% off package was still having rooms available at Caribbean Beach,
Yeah. And I feel like this year we're going to run into that a little bit, at least early. I think as the year goes on, you're going to see things loosen up a little bit, and reservations are going to be a little bit tougher. But if you have the ability to go, that March to like early June, I think you're going to be able to fall into some really good deals, some really low capacity parks, and really be able to have that enjoyable trip that, pre-COVID you could fall into quite a bit. I think since COVID, things have really changed to where everything's kind of tight all the time. Now I feel like we're going to start seeing it open up a little bit in those different time frames again. So
yeah, Epic Universe was huge. Yeah, Epic Universe is going to be, I mean, it's huge.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy when it opens up, and it's going to be crazy to see kind of how the People Suck works there on the local side as well. You know, how much of, you know, does Disney Springs open up a little bit and that kind of stuff as well, because I could really see that happening as well. So, you know, interesting to see what's going to happen. You know, Epic Universe opens basically Memorial Day weekend. It opens up a little bit earlier than that, but Memorial Day weekend will be like the main weekend for the opening. So we go that next week. We're not going to be at Epic Universe. We're going to be at Disney, but we're going to be able to see kind of what the opening of Epic Universe has done to Disney World. So yeah. Anything else on your side? I think next week we'll get more into like the actual news, kind of what's going on with Disney Cruise Lines, some of the things that are going on with the new releases for the parks, you know, the Villains show, Disney Starlight, that kind of stuff. A recap of Paris's fireworks. If you haven't seen those yet, go find a video of the new Paris fireworks. Holy cow. If that is the future of Disney fireworks, sign me up. It is crazy good, and they can't even do full pyrotechnic down there. So, yeah, check it out. Yeah, it's really, really cool. So, definitely check those things out. And again, thank you guys all for everybody that has watched videos, especially that Happily Ever After video. You guys have been crazy on that. Likes, subscribe, shares. Absolutely awesome. Really big push this year to 1,000. Help us get there. We made it to 500 last year, so we are able to do super chats and super follows and all that kind of stuff. So if you guys are interested in donating to the show, you can do it that way as well. So definitely a lot of cool ways to help contribute to the show now. And everything that we get from the show goes back into the show. So we'll find cool ways to use that and make the show better. So again, thank you guys all for joining us tonight. Peter, thanks for jumping on, bud. I'll get in touch with you before next week and see what's going on, and maybe we can get together and get some games in and talk a little bit more Disney. But
we will, see each other at Moonshot on Saturday.
I'm not going to be there on Saturday. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's when my Cirque du Soleil thing is, so.
Okay, give me your special secret deck.
I can do that. You just have to learn how to play it real quick. It's pretty cool.
No. You get the big reveal.
All right. Well, you guys all take care. We'll see you next week. Bye now. I haven't been able to say it for a while, but Peter with Princesses and the Mouse joined us this for the show. Check it out. We talked a lot of Disney, some Lorcana, and we'll be back at If you're looking for us on social media, you can find us in a lot of different places. The easiest is going to be over on Facebook at DPI Podcast for the show page, at PATM Disney Travel for the trip page. If you want to find us on Instagram, X, Twitter, basically everywhere other than TikTok, you can find Thank you guys all for watching, liking, sharing, subscribing. Everything that you do to support the channel, it is very much appreciated. Have a good week, and we will see you next weekend.